Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It is time for yet another video, and it is summer if the temperatures outside or anything close to what mine are, which is close to 100. And by summer I mean Castle Art's summer collection of pencils. Now, a couple months ago I did a video on the spring collection because they're doing this whole seasonal thing, and most importantly, every single set is a new set of pencils. So spring was 72 new colors in addition to the 120 premium that are already out. Do not compare these to Castle Art Golds. This is to the Castle Art Premium Soft Touch pencil. Okay, so now we have 72 more colors. Holy moly. And they're supposed to be a summer palette, so that's what's going to be interesting here, because then we've got fall and winter. As you guys know, there are in fact 4 seasons. I know, crazy. So let's unbox. I like the front, I really do. Actually, I'm going to be honest with you. As these expand, you're going to see overlap, especially with what they already have out, but then you can only reinvent the wheel so much. So, 72 warm summer colors, huh? Alright. Oh, we got black in here. So, black wasn't in the last one, obviously. Oh, I am a little concerned, though. We got a summer white, whereas the last one had spring white. That's going to be interesting. Lots of reds, tons of yellows. We had tons of yellows in the spring set, too. We have a lot more purples, it looks like, possibly. I'm just going off this right now. And we've got some blues. There was a lot of blues, though, in the spring set, but interestingly enough, there seem, from looking here, more greens than the spring set. And the spring set was where I was like, where's all the greens? Okay, so it comes with 6 coloring sheets. Also comes with a swatch tester page. Now, I will tell you, oh, these are pretty cute. This is kind of an odd paper, though. These tester swatch charts from Castle Arts can actually make your pencils look a little bit crappier than they really are. I've noticed this with all of their pencil releases. Wowza. Look at those. Oh my gosh, I don't think they're in order. No, I don't think they are. That'll be interesting. That's okay, though. But look at that. So here's our swatch chart, which is what we will be swatching on camera nice and quickly because we want to get to looking at these colors. But let's take a look at the pencils. Wow. Bright, bright, bright. That's a lot of yellows and reds. So yeah, it looks like we got a couple more pinks, purples, and blues. The spring set had a lot of blues and a lot of yellows. We've got more greens too. Honestly, more greens than we had in the other one. I am kind of worried that they're gonna make this a thing, though. We had a spring white, now we got a summer white, so are we gonna have a fall white and a winter white? Are they all actually going to be white? That part would kind of suck, right? Because they're promising 72 new colors per set. Now, if you're a person who has full set syndrome, hi, welcome to the club, I'm with ya. That means you would buy all of these, and then of course you'd be sitting there like, well, now I've got 4 whites maybe. I don't know. I'm gonna assume the winter set would have a white. Ooh, did you hear that? Okay. So yeah, we are going to swatch these bad boys. Let's see, I paused for a minute because I saw Orchid Pink. Where'd it go again? Where'd she go? Orchid Pink. And in the spring set, it was just called Orchid. So they're probably going to have some really close colors, but hey, like I said, 72 times 4, well, you can do the math there, plus 120 pencils already out, there's going to be some overlap, and yes, I am going to all combine them after we get the winter set, so end of the year, or January, whenever that winter set releases. I will combine them all, but we're looking at a lot of pencils, so you're going to have some. But let's get swatching and see what this summer palette is. If it's warm, promising, bright, and pretty like this would be glorious. And then kind of compare it to the spring and what's existing in Castle Art and go from there. Okay, well, we have swatched our summer collection. First thing I noticed was there are so many yellows in this collection. I don't know what they're planning here because we have 72 fall, 72 winter. Winter should not really have any yellows at this point, but we got a lot of yellows. Spring, I'll put a picture up as reference. Spring has a lot of yellow as well. They had not as many orange, and you're seeing a little bit more orange, and by that I mean like these two and then these darker ones. So there's, you know, a little bit more orange. Spring was kind of lacking in greens, as you can see from, I'm gonna put this here so you can kind of see my comparison chart above, but as you can see from the spring collection, there wasn't a ton of greens considering it was spring, but at the same time, the greens for summer, there's not a lot, and these are very freaky close to one another, like just barely darker. So we've got some greens. We've got more olivey greens. I was kind of expecting olivey greens though to appear in the fall palette because that's autumnal, just me. We do have some more blues added, but there was tons of blues actually in the spring one. The thing this spring was really missing was purples and pinks, and we did get some more of those. We've got some more purples here. This is even like a nice reddish red wine purple. We got some more pinks and purples here, so you combine that with spring, pretty good. We've got that there. Also, they're adding some more skin tone type colors, which are good. They had some of those in the spring collection. The summer collection doesn't have a ton of brown. I mean, we're, you know, our earthy tones. It did not have black, so we have black here. We've got our warm taupe, warm gray light, warm gray dark. But I'm gonna find it interesting because we do have grays in the 120 premium soft touch as well. Now these do not overlap too much, though this warm gray light and this version of warm gray light are two different things, which is nice. So yeah, there's that. The blues, like I said, I do have more blues. There was actually quite a few blues in the spring one where I was expecting this to be more blue, spring to be more green. You know, I'm not really sure what they're doing here. So this is orchid pink. They had an orchid in the spring collection. So I can see kind of like how they used to do Bengal Rose Light, Bengal Rose Deep. They're very, very close to one another. We're probably going to see that again. Very similar names. Yeah, just some of these you would notice while I was swatching. I was also checking to see how well they matched up. Like, you know, does the color dipped end actually match? Some do, some don't. I don't weigh a ton on that. Overall, is this a summer palette? Yes, because it's definitely bright. Much, much brighter. Now this is just swatching. I haven't colored with this yet. But right now, I'm just kind of showing you the colors because I quickly want to get that out there because performance-wise, they're similar to this one and the spring set. So could you just stick to your 120? Yeah, you've got tons of greens here, blues, tons of pinks. This is actually one of the most pinks you'll ever see. Purples, meh. Already all these yellows. Orange, fleshy tones. It'd be nice to get some of these lighter ones in. I am really worried, though, about all of these yellows being added because these are supposed to be 72 new colors on top of the spring 72 new colors. Fall, winter, plus 120 here. We're going to have a lot of colors that are very, very close to one another. We already do. Now, I swatched these a little bit differently, but even tomato red is already very close to, like, orange lake right here. Sunset Orange is really close to Terracotta. It's just a little lighter. Even this like Flamingo, we've got some, and then yeah, I don't know, guys. I love the concept. I really love what they're doing. I'm really excited for the fall one, but I gotta wait a few months to enjoy that one. I kind of want to see what winter is. I am getting worried though because we have a summer white and a spring white. They are the same, although the summer white was a little bit more, did better on the black surface. You know, they gave us a black, but we have a black in the 120 set too. I fear we're going to see a lot of overlap once this is over. And again, like I said, it's like those 520 sets of Kalur and Brute Fooner. There's overlap. Like if you lose one, you're not going to notice anything. I'm more concerned with the overlap I'm seeing already in this 72, the spring, and this 120. Like Violet Whisper, hi there Mauve. Soft Violet from the other set, very close to Mauve as well. It's just going to be like such a slight variance. I'm not going to bother putting these all in one chart until I have all the sets. And I might actually put the seasons in their own set and then combine it with these. That way, if you wanted just to collect seasons ones, you can. If you want to get away from these older ones. These are still dusty. They felt a little softer than how I remember my old Castle Arts, but not much. I don't know, guys. It's just some of these colors. I mean, look at that. Woo, right there. That's really close. It's just some of these colors I'm thinking, I'm just sitting here like, wow, this is just getting really, really close to one another. Like Viridian, Hooker's Green. Yeah, I don't know. And considering the price of these right now, that's my concern. So, if you had this, should you go and buy the spring and summer sets? No, not really. A lot of these colors that are missing aren't really missing. You know, you've got 120 here. This is a ton of colors. You've got different grays. You do not need 2 whites plus 3 if you have this. You'd be fine here. These are brighter though. This is a very bright palette, which is why I was hoping the spring would kind of add more pastels, which it did, but not as many as I thought it would. This one here, same thing. We've got some lighter colors, but they're still like really close to some of the colors that are already light in this set. So I'd be curious to see fall and winter. Maybe winter is where all those pastels are hiding. Do I just want pastels? No, I just want to see a little bit more variety. I want to be like, oh wow, check out that color. I haven't seen it 50 times. So now what would I do? Spring or summer palette? Honestly, if you like bright and you're more into the bright colors, then definitely go with a summer. If you like if you're more of a muted, not muted, lighter tone, the spring one was really nice because it had a lot lighter colors. It had a few darks for shading, but really the colors overall were not as in your face. So there's that. They're both pretty well balanced. Could you do a portrait with them though? I actually tried to do a portrait with the seasons one. I was able to make a skin tone. I could make a skin tone here with this one as well. It would be a little bit harder to do a darker skin tone, whereas the spring set I could have. But I just feel like some of these colors, it's like, yeah, it's not really summery though. Like, this could also like be thrown into the spring palette because of the way they're like pushing these. I want to see these done though, and we've got a ways to go. So I guess we'll just keep plugging away and hopefully be wowed. But if you do have the 120 set, you can really think about it. But if you have like full set syndrome like I do, then you're going to end up collecting them both anyway, and I feel your pain. But yeah, just keep that in mind, and if you want to see me color with them, let me know. For the price, however, if you're on a budget, just go buy the 120 set of these. And I'm not even a fan of Castle Art, but this is going to be cheaper than buying these little curated sets. And at least you have something complete here, whereas you've got like this summer thing going on and the spring thing going on. So yeah, if you're on a budget, do that. I actually prefer, however, if you really want to talk castle arts and you're on a budget, then go buy the Castle Art Gold. I actually prefer those to the regular Castle Art. I felt like they had a better variety, more grays. I really enjoyed them a lot more. I like the way they actually feel on the paper. So if you, these are a little bit more pricey, but again, 120 pencils, full set. So that's just one gal's opinion. But yeah, overall, I wish I could be like, oh my god, they're so great. But at the same time, they are really cute. This is so confusing. Let me know if you bought this and what you think. You know, you've got some overlap already with the spring set, so are you kind of concerned with the fall and winter set on top of what we already have here? Because I sure am. Because the end of this, these are 50 bucks each. And, you know, so 200 bucks later, am I just going to have like all the same colors with maybe a few outliers? Probably, but we'll see. I don't want to jump to conclusions. I just wish I was a little more wowed. So I'm looking really forward to the fall one, almost so much that I'm afraid I might overhype it for myself. But you know what? That's a risk I'm willing to take. So until next time, everyone, take care, and yeah, let me know. Bye now.